All right, what's going on, everybody? Do a quick trade recap. One that I did with y'all in the small account mastery and in the options room today. It was a drama-free, a 41.90, 42.30 call credit spread that I got for $2.35, and ended up getting a loser. And I'll talk about something. It's kind of funny. Sometimes the tasty platform gets me, but I'll talk about that here in a moment. But before I get started, um, you can see how it is currently breaking resistance. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the plan of attack video that I put out this morning. I'll make it pop at the top of your screen right now. Bing! and evaluate what I was looking at to happen. I'll also do a quick little talk about it here as well. But what I'm getting at now is, so yes, today's trade was a loss. Bummer. It happens. But I did have a plan. I have a reason for that plan. And sometimes the market is going to do what it wants and you take a loser. That's okay. But the strategy works well over time. It's nothing more than a trade that goes in a basket of thousands of trades. So it's all good, but let's talk about it. All right, so check out the plan of attack. But long story short, here is long-term resistance from this point of control in HVA. And even if you don't follow market profile, you could easily see that it's been resistance here. It was resistance here. Was resistance here, and here we are once again visiting that area. So for me, I was looking to get short on signals telling me that the extension higher is going to potentially pull back and or maybe even consolidate in the zone is basically what I was looking for. Hindsight, obviously you can look at this and be like, oh yeah, obviously you should have gone long. I'm not going to go long in the face of resistance. This was from a volume-based resistance, from a technical analysis-based resistance. You could just simply see that was been resistance in the past, which is fine. So I couldn't go long today. I was looking to go short, and I was just happened to be wrong on the setup today. All right, so I was looking to get short based on this resistance and volume profile, this point of control area. Like I said, check out the plan of attack, and it makes sense if you're unaware of what I am talking about. Now from there, I needed my signals to go short. Or actually, before I even cover this area, because we got short right here, I want to show you, let me show you the position first before I even get into it. Oops, wrong button. Okay, so what happened today? Initially, now I'll show the screenshot at first. So like I said, I did a 41.90, 42.30 call credit spread. I got filled initially for $2.40. And then when I was placing my stop loss, I always forget this sometimes on Tasty, and it'll get me. I need to really remember it. But I put in my stop loss and then selected stop market. But whenever you select stop market, it erases the limit order or the stop order you put in and puts it back at market. So what ended up happening, so initially my stop um, was supposed to be 7, oops, hold on. Yeah, initially my first stop was supposed to be $7.20. So what I did is I put in this price for my stop order and then selected stop market order. And then when I clicked the type of order afterwards, it put it back to market, or actually, so it was there for 1.70. So ultimately, what ended up happening is I got into this credit spread. I ended up closing it for the short leg for $1.75, and then I closed the long leg for $1.15. So ultimately, right here, this trade I made 80 bucks on. But that was an accident, right? And the setup is still valid. And then what happened afterwards, price rallied up a little bit. It was okay, so I got re-engaged because I was doing this trade live with other members. And you can see I simply got into the same exact trade, except 5 cents cheaper. So if this trade I made 80 bucks, that's supposed to be 8. Whoop. So in this case, I ended up getting into the trade for $2.35. Stopped out. My stop order was at 705, and I actually caught slippage this time. I usually don't catch slippage, but I got 15-cent slippage. And then here's when I closed the long leg. So ultimately, all that being said, this was a I got out for $4.80 if you add it all together. So ultimately, so like I said, $4.30. And so bringing it all together, so if we were to get it, so I got out for a 430 loss, but then I made 80 bucks here. Get the 80 add the 80 bucks there, it equals a $350 loss. So, because I made 80 bucks, but then I lost 430, and that equals this. So that's the setup there. And so it was a complete mess, but that's what happened there. Now let's talk about the trade setup, what happened. The trade setup, this was it at time of entry. I took a screenshot. Let me talk about it. Okay, here it is. All right, so ultimately, like I said, I was looking for price to roll over because of the large 3-month high value area where resistance has been a lot of times. So here is price at this 3-month HVA area. Price was extended up at the hourly 3rd ATR, started to get dots and arrows, right? So I have my thesis that price wants to go down. Larger time frames, you see how it's turning red. We're getting dots, everything's starting to go red here. And it was a tricky day because everything is looking bullish. Admittedly, the squeeze was looking bullish. Like everything was looking like it did want to go higher. Started to get my rotations. All right, cool. Sell my out of the money call crest. You see where I did a delta 17, 40 wide for this much. And then my stop loss was 2 times the credit received, which is 705. And then that was my target. But yeah, nonetheless, I had a plan. I had a reason why I expected the price to go lower today. Got my signal. That was the moment it was going lower. And also on top of all that, internally, at the moment, of entry, the dollar was spiking up, so that was looking good. The VIX was starting to move higher. So I was all right. Everything was all right. Cool. This is the moment we're going to pull back. So that's when we initiated the trade. Nonetheless, it didn't. Now this is the setup right here. So crunch this. And so if you're unaware, what you're looking at right here is I have the SPX up here. I just put OP for my options position down here. And here's when we entered the trade. I have my stop loss up here, and here's my target, right? So here's my target. Target, my entry, and my stop loss, and this was the actual time we entered. And then after we entered, you see went sideways, it was looking good, as price was just kind of chopping around right here. But as soon as we got that spike right there, that's when we started to go like this. And it's kind of funny. So it did wrap up, wicked me out, and now we're just oscillating sideways. And it may even go back down and be profitable. In hindsight, I know someone's thinking like, oh, what if you would just held on? You've been okay. In this trade, maybe. We'll see. The day's not over. But sometimes it doesn't stop, and you don't want to get a catastrophic loss. I accepted the loss parameters when I got in. I set my stop loss, and I don't change it. That is how I prevent huge losses. I enter it and leave it alone. Don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. So all that being said, you get to see how it does, even as price moves sideways, you see how the premium works in your favor as well, or the theta decay works in your favor. But we'll see how it looks at the end of the day. It still may be okay. But I mean, I'll look at it tomorrow. I'll give you guys an update later. But yeah, that's the trade that happened today. And actually, let's look what unfolded. That's what we need to do. So this is what it looked like, that entry. Like I sent this to all y'all that took the trade with me. We're at the HVA, rotations, rotation looking to go lower. Here's the setup we got in and why. Cool. Now, what actually happened, price did spike up through the HVA, hitting this level. Now we're starting to consolidate again. So, I mean, sure, right here, you could simply say, oh, that was a quick buy the dip opportunity. Sure. But for me, me personally, I can't go long in the face of a larger time frame resistance level. And I will honestly, I feel like I'm saying honestly a lot right now. But there was a lot of times where people thought this was going to break out. People thought this was going to break out. A lot of people thought that these levels were going to break out. And I had to expect that price will not break out until proven otherwise. And as of right now, being proven wrong. So it's all good. I accept that loss, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But that is it. Like I said, a $350 loser. Had a plan. Plan stopped me out, and it is what it is. I accepted that risk, and now I'm done trading for the day. So I hope everyone has an awesome day. Hope you found this video helpful, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Feel free to ask questions if you have any. Take care, everybody.